Hi, my name is Gabrielle Stepp, and this is my journey through Colorado Christian University School of Counseling. My journey with CCU began with Residency 1. When I stepped onto campus, I felt all of the emotions. I felt the giddiness of a child. I felt the excitement of the unknown, the fear of what the program entailed, and what I really was getting myself into. I didn't know any person there. And as Residency 1 wrapped up, I actually started making connections the last day. Go figure. And we formed a group in Northern Colorado that would be more beneficial and mean more to me than I would have ever guessed. The months following Res 1, if you all remember, we had the theories class. And so this friends group and we would meet at Panera Bread pretty regularly and study about theories and skill setters and what it's like to be in the program and the core shells. And we started meeting, started forming connections and friendships. As the program continued, I had just a struggle with being in the program. Definitely imposter syndrome, definitely just a struggle between the Lord and I. And I specifically remember this one night that I was doing homework. It was like 11 p.m. I was telling God that I was going to quit the program. And he said no. And I said yes. And he said no. And it was a struggle between him and I. And I told him, I don't understand what you're doing. I don't understand what you're taking me. I just don't understand this process. I want to be a preacher. I love the Bible. I have a teaching gift. That's where I should be. And he led me to Hebrews 11:8. And it talks about how when Abraham went into a place, a land that he didn't know where he was going, he went to receive an inheritance. And that was such a pivotal moment on my journey that I knew that I needed to stay in the program. I knew that I needed to be on the path that the Lord was leading me to be on. As we stepped into 2023, I had already been doing personal work with my counselor. I had noticed that I was codependent and mesh and did not have boundaries. So I really took to heart the counselor identity and the congruency in the counselor. And the place that I started was at work. So that's where I started implementing everything that I was really learning. As I continue to implement my counselor identity and congruency in my personal life and this profession, I didn't realize that people wouldn't like it. And so it became a struggle at work. And what happened was that when I started putting boundaries, I started quickly becoming replaced. So the week of Res 2, my salary was cut in half. I actually had to learn to shelve personal stuff for the profession. That's what I learned in Res 2. And one of the friends that I had been meeting with, she saw what was happening and came alongside me and really started taking me under her wing and mentoring me. For the remainder of the summer into the fall, she has become one of my best friends. But we started making coffee dates every Saturday regularly. And she started showing me how to heal from codependency, keep the boundaries, and really to be call up into the leader that the Lord has created me to be. And that further enhanced my counselor identity. As I progressed in the ways that I was being mentored and progressed in the growth of just my personal work and counselor identity, I did not know it would come at a cost. And I ended up losing my job just because I didn't fit the mold anymore. And because I was trying to really establish healthy traits and healthy boundaries and healthy communication in my life. And one of the things that I lost this job, and then that started, the costs started going into my family system as well. But even though it was costing me on a personal level, the Lord was there through it all. He actually had a place in mind for me. The owner of this private practice in my hometown, she reached out to me. So I went and interviewed with her, and then she's a Christian and everything. And it was just really, really amazing how the Lord works in our relationship. By the end of my time with her and I were both hearing the same thing from him, and it was that I need to move on into something beyond her. And so we both heard community health. And so she made a couple of calls and got me into a community health based practice for my internship. So for internship, I ended up at an inpatient addictions program, community health wise or based. Little did I know how much I freaking love this population. Addiction, to be honest, was never on my mind. And it's just something so amazing and sacred to be able to step into a person's presence, life, story as they start the beginning steps of recovery from addiction. And it wasn't just for the clients, it was also for me. The Lord started showing me how to really get into the rooted things from my childhood and stepping out of the rescuer's role and really what control and responsibility looks like in my personal life and with clients. As I continue to form and really implement things in the program, my counselor identity, the more I didn't fit in my family anymore. And I initially didn't fit at work, and I just don't fit in the family system anymore. And so, just some really painful circumstances that's happened in my family, that's who I need to forgive. And that's who I need to really hand over to Jesus. And this slide is bittersweet because I have been given such an amazing community through establishing connections at Res 1. In conclusion, the biggest thing that I've learned from this journey is how powerful the Holy Spirit is. And when I really do relinquish control and surrender and trust Him, I've seen Him step in ways with clients and my personal life that I couldn't do and form miracles, whether they big or small, in people's lives. And so, really being the implicit God and just letting the Holy Spirit move has been the greatest lesson in this journey. Thank you guys for listening.